Good afternoon, children. We are again with the next topic of the chapter Union Legislature. Today we are going to start the new topic of this lesson, Power to Amend the Constitution. Previously, we discussed about financial powers and also control over executive and legislative powers, that were all the powers and functions of Union Parliament. The next power and function of Union Parliament is power to amend the Constitution. Amend means to bring some changes in the Constitution. Regarding amending of the Constitution, both the houses enjoys equal powers. Which are those both the houses? Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. This both houses means that Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha enjoys equal powers. An amendment bill can be introduced in either house. Yes. In my previous session also I discussed that regarding money bill only Lok Sabha is powerful. But apart from money bill, if we talk about ordinary bills, if we talk about the amendment of the bills, that can be introduced in either house. Whether it can be Lok Sabha or it can be Rajya Sabha. But it must be passed by each house separately. Yes, this is the point, very important point, that if any amendment bill is introduced, it has to be passed separately by Lok Sabha and by Rajya Sabha. The Constitution of India provides three methods of amending the Constitution. Yes, in chapter 16, we have discussed about the three procedures of amendment: by simple majority, by special majority, and by special majority and ratification. But most of the provisions of the Constitution are amended by special majority. And what is this special majority? That any amendment bill can be approved by both houses of the parliament by absolute majority of total membership or by 2/3 majority of the members present and voting. The second process of special majority is 2/3 majority of members present and voting. So in chapter 16 only we have discussed all these things, that in special majority there are two cases. One is absolute majority and the second is 2/3 of the members present and voting. And most of the provisions of the Constitution is passed by special majority. Next is your judicial power. The next power and function of Union Parliament is judicial power. First power was legislative power. Second power was control over executive. Third was financial power. Fourth was power to amend the Constitution. And this one is fifth one, that is judicial power. The Parliament is also empowered to remove the President, and along with that the judges of Supreme Court and High Court. And the process of removing, the procedures which is adopted for removing President and the judges of Supreme Court and High Court is called impeachment. From here the question comes, that what is impeachment. And from where we have taken this impeachment? We have taken it from America. When I was discussing chapter 16, that what features we have adopted from different countries, then we came across, while discussing American Constitution, that the head of the state is president, and regarding anything about the removal, about the appointment, about the powers, we have all taken from America. But the only basic difference is here is that in India we have parliamentary form of government, not presidential form of government. But in America there is a presidential form of government where president is the real head. But here in India, the real head is Prime Minister. So what is impeachment? The process to remove the president, the judges of Supreme Court and High Court, that process, that procedure is called impeachment. And how this impeachment can be presented in the parliament? For this, a resolution has to be passed by both houses of the parliament. Which are these both houses? Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha. These both houses again is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. For this, a resolution has to be passed by Lok Sabha and also by Rajya Sabha by special majority. Where I discussed that in special majority there are two cases. One is absolute majority of the total membership, and the second is 2/3 of the members present and voting. That is absolute majority of the total membership or 2/3 majority of the members present and voting in each house during the same session. Yes, when I was discussing about the sessions, I told you Parliament has mainly 3 sessions. And this resolution has to be passed in the same session. For example, if it has been presented in summer, then has to be passed in the same session. So this is all about your judicial powers of Union Parliament. So what we have came across in this judicial power? First of all, that the Parliament is having the power to remove the President, judges of Supreme Court and High Court. And for that, which procedure we adopt? For that we adopt impeachment process. And how this impeachment will be passed? First of all, it will be presented in the Parliament, in Lok Sabha as well as in Rajya Sabha. And if the Lok Sabha is passing, it have to pass by special majority. Under that there are 2 cases. One is absolute majority of the total membership, and the next is 2/3 of the majority of the members present and voting. Same way in Rajya Sabha this will be adopted, and if it is passed by 2 houses in the same session, then regarding the impeachment process, whether it is for the removal of president or for the judges of the Supreme Court or High Court, that person will be removed. If it is in favor, it will be removed. If it is not in favor, it will not be removed. So here both the houses are enjoying the same powers regarding judicial powers. Now we come to the next topic, and the last topic you can say, electoral functions. Electoral functions. The members of Parliament exercise Right to vote. That means the members, if we are choosing the members of parliament, how we are choosing the members of parliament? By voting procedure, especially the Lok Sabha members, because Rajya Sabha members are indirectly elected by the people. But in Lok Sabha, the members are directly elected by the people. But again, these members of parliament also enjoys right to vote. How they enjoy this? They exercise this right to vote. And where do they use this right to vote? To elect the president and the vice president of India. When we will come across the next chapter, Union Executive, there we will discuss how the procedures of electing president and vice president of India. But in brief, I want to discuss that president and vice president of India are elected by an electoral college. President of India is indirectly elected by an electoral college consisting of all the elected members of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and legislative assemblies of all the states. So, here Lok Sabha, who are these members of parliament? Lok Sabha members, Rajya Sabha members, along with that legislative assemblies of the state will participate in the election of president and vice president. So the president and the vice president is indirectly elected by an electoral college. And who are the members of this electoral college? Electoral college. And who are the members consisting of this electoral college? Lok Sabha members, Rajya Sabha members, and legislative assemblies of all states. Means all the MLAs of all the states, are the members of this electoral college, and they participate in the election of president and vice president of India. So this is all about the judicial powers. Here you can see some of the pictures of Prime Minister of our country. So children, you should know that who is the first Prime Minister of India. Till date, how many Prime Ministers have been made? You should know this. And when we will be doing the second project, when I will be giving you the second project, there we will discuss this, and this will be a sort of project work, and on that basis your internal assessment will be done. But you should be knowing who is the list of all the Prime Ministers of India till date. So this is all about the powers and functions of Union Parliament. So we came across the different Union Parliament functions. First, legislative powers. You can see here, I am showing you, this is the legislative power. Next comes control over executive, where we came across the two terms, collective responsibility and question power. Then we came across also financial powers, where we came across that the lower house, that is Lok Sabha, is more powerful than Rajya Sabha. And why it is powerful? Because it is related to money bill. Next we came to power to amend the constitution. Who has got this power? Both the houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. And by special majority, the amendment bill can be introduced in any house, but it has to be passed separately. Then the next topic is judicial powers. This is also one of the power and functions of Union Parliament, where we came across the important term impeachment. This is the process to remove, this is the procedure to remove the President, the judges of Supreme Court, High Court, and even also Vice President. And for that, a resolution has to be passed by both houses by special majority. We came across the special majority 2 cases, absolute majority of total membership and 2/3 majority of the members and present and voting. This procedure I have already explained in chapter 16 when I was discussing about the procedures of amendment of Constitution. The last power and functions of Union Parliament is electoral functions, where the members of Parliament participate in the voting procedure to elect the President and the Vice President of India, because they are the members of Electoral College, and actually this President is been appointed indirectly by the Electoral College. And who are the members of this Electoral College? Lok Sabha members, Rajya Sabha members, and also state assemblies of all the states. So I hope so you all have understood. Please go through the video carefully and read the topic. Then in my next class we will discuss about the exercise. Thank you, children.